All right. So, guys, welcome back to the Lando Project. So glad you could join us on this fine Monday. I am your host, Lando Payne. And as always, I am joined with my compadre in the mix, Mr. Ben Campbell, B to the C. Hello, buddy.
That was very random and officially, like, just boom, we're going.
That's how I do, bro. That's how I do. We just get up in the mix. Get all up in the mix with this movie news on this fine Monday.
Bruh, I gotta tell you, my dude. I had an interesting weekend.
Yeah.
I went to see Kid Rock in concert. It's kind of frightening.
Seeing Kid Rock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about him?
Yeah. So I mean, like, it was cool. It was very nostalgic seeing him, getting to hear all my favorite songs from back in the day and all that good stuff. But I also felt like everyone was preparing to storm the Capitol, and that's kind of frightening.
That's a fair thought, man.
Like, it was uncomfortable.
Kid Rock, great musician.
You know what? Really good live. Really good live. A lot of fun. He got on the turntables. He played the drums. He played the saxophone. He played multiple different guitars and basses. Good live.
I didn't know he was that like musically inclined. I just assumed he was just the dude that got on the songs and just rattled off. I didn't know he was a musician in that way. I knew he was like a big guitarist and stuff. I didn't know he was. So
it was very interesting. It was just his audience is
Trumplicans.
Very frightening.
Trumplicans.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Very, very tough. I know Kid Rock was a big supporter of Trump, so I would obviously feel like I would not be invited there. Did you take anyone with you?
There was one black dude. And he was with my group of people. And then there was a video message from Trump.
What?
Yeah. Kid Rock does have this song called We the People, where it's pretty much like a pro-Trump, fuck you, Biden song. Right. And it was very scary.
That's kind of unsettling, man. Like, did you go before or after what we know as to be the verdict and the ruling? I'm just curious.
Oh, it's definitely after.
Okay.
Nothing was brought up about that, which was interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, just fuck our government. Like, that's just
for real. I'm honestly surprised it was get away with that, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about all good, delicious things in the world of movies.
Positive
vibes here. And we have some great things to talk about today. I really can't wait to get into them. And just so you guys know, we will be doing our classic boys breakdown and also our breakdown for the season finale for Obi-Wan, season or series finale for Obi-Wan Kenobi, depending on how you want to look at it. But we're going to give you all of our thoughts about that at the end of the episode. But before we get into that, we have some news. Some good old news to talk about. BC, you ready for the news?
I'm always ready, bro. Let's do this. Let's talk. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I missed last week. It sucked not being able to do the show. Yeah. And I'm really happy that we are back and we're running and we're still working on getting everything working up and going smoothly. But we're getting better. We're getting closer.
We're getting closer. That's the thing. And guys, if you guys don't know, honestly, last Friday, the Friday before, my computer crapped out. Like, the laptop that we use to make everything on this show. It crapped out pretty bad, and so we had to get a new computer, and it just took a while for it to get here. But it's here now, and we're here for you. So, anyway, with that out the way, we had some...
You know what makes you really mad about that happening?
What happened?
It was right after we filmed an awesome episode that we both realized that we love Peoples Hernandez.
Yeah, I wanted to drop that episode so bad. It was a sad day. Peoples Hernandez. If you don't know Peoples. You don't know Peoples.
Why they call you Peoples?
You gotta take care of your people.
Because I take care of my peoples.
I take care of my peoples. Yes. So, I guess the first thing we'll talk about is, you like Batman. I like Batman. Batman's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I have some good Batmans, and there's some bad Batmans. But I think there's one Batman that everyone always has at the top of their list. Most people, at least. Right?
I see. I was like, where are we going? Okay, I get it now.
Trust me. Christian Bale. Christian Bale as Batman. First of all, how do you feel about Christian when he put on the cape and the cowl? How did you like him?
I loved him in Batman Begins. I thought he was a fantastic Batman. He was an incredible Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins. And then as the movies went on, he got worse. The movies were still really good, but I did not like his Bruce Wayne. I did not like his Batman voice. And now I have an issue where everyone talks about The Dark Knight like it is the greatest movie ever made. And I'm like, no. It has one of the greatest performances ever. The movie itself is only as good, only good because of the performance of Heath Ledger. I mean, it's still a decent movie, but it's not this is the best Batman ever that we hold it to be.
I mean, I kind of feel the same exact way. I get into arguments with people all the time. Christian Bale is not my favorite Batman. Never was. I mean, I'm pretty confident saying that. Even when I was watching them when they were coming out, I liked his performance. It never, to me, clicked as what I thought as being the right Batman. I'm a big comic person. I'm a big animated fan. So his Batman always just felt a little bit out of place, I guess. It never felt right. But I did love the movies. I thought the movies were great, and that was mainly because of the villains. I'll be the first one to say Liam Neeson as Ra's, down Heath as the Joker, right? Tom Hardy
is Bane. I know that The Dark Knight Rises is not the best of those films, but it is my favorite,
right?
Just because of Tom Hardy.
No, I love Tom Hardy's Bane. I would argue people all the time, Tom Hardy's Bane was a more successful villain than the Joker in those movies. When I say successful, I meant in accomplishing his task.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who can shut down a whole damn city for like 4 months
and actually create anarchy, he got the people of Gotham to do what the Joker wanted them to do.
Exactly. And that's what I loved about Bane. But I do love those 3 movies. You're right. I agree with you. Christian Bale's voice. There's that. I loved I did like his outfit. I loved his costume. I liked him as the character, but I always felt that there will be another Batman that I would like more than him, and there have been. Actually, Ben Affleck. I do like Ben Affleck's take in the BVS Ultimate Edition and the.
I like all of Ben Affleck. There's not a moment of Ben Affleck as Batman that I do not like. Even when people talk about the Justice League and talk about how goofy he was, I was like, I don't think he's goofy. I think he feels like the animated series Batman.
No, he does.
He makes those goofy quips like him.
He does, and that's the one thing I love about his Batman, because he actually embodies the physicality. The physicality of Batman. He looks like Batman. I actually feel like if you met this dude down the street, he'll actually whip your ass on some real talk. Like, that's not a guy I want to mess with. And even Pattinson, Robert Pattinson. I liked his Batman.
Pattinson is I think, arguably the best Batman. His Bruce Wayne still needs work.
Correct. Correct.
Outside of the suit, he either needs to keep a shirt on or he needs to add some weight.
Yes.
Because when you see him in that scene in the Batman where he takes his shirt off, and I'm like, oh, you're tiny. You're just cut. You're not big.
That was the one thing that bothered me whenever the reports were coming out about how he was getting ready for the role. He was like, I'm not going to the gym. I'm like, shame on you.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym, right? I liked his portrayal. I know what he was trying to do, but we got it. Cool. In the second movie, go to the gym. Please. Thank you very much. Anyway, though, back to Christian. It looks like Christian was asked if he would take up the mantle of Batman again, right? This obviously a question that most of these guys get asked to him whenever they're doing the rounds for whatever. And, of course, he's doing the rounds for Thor the Dark World as Gore the God Butcher. You die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a Marvel villain. And he was asked straight up, like, "Hey, would you essentially wear the cowl again?" And his answer, I mean, we all know what his answer was. He was like, "Hey, listen, I walked into this with Christopher Nolan, and that's what it's going to be. If Christopher Nolan wants to do it, then I would actually come back," which is a surprise because I never thought he would actually want to come back. Now, since he says he'll come back, if Christopher Nolan comes back, now the question comes up with, will Christopher Nolan actually come back? And
I don't know why anyone thinks this is a question.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to do another Christopher Nolan Batman. They're outside of that world. That's over. It's done. Even if they did, why would it be Bale? Why wouldn't it be Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Like that makes no sense at all. And also, Christopher Nolan is now working with Universal, not Warner Brothers. So
exactly the whole point. That was my whole point. It was him and Legendary kick rocks with Warner Brothers when Warner Brothers made the terrible decision of taking all their movies from theatrical releases to HBO Max on demand. Same day and date, right?
You say terrible decision. I say fantastic decision for the fans. Terrible business decision.
It was bad business. Bad business.
I loved it.
Oh, I did too. I took full advantage. I took full advantage of getting all the goodness that I wanted to see, but it was a bad financial decision for Warner Brothers. I mean, it cost Tenet, which was Christopher Nolan's movie, a lot of. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Tenet come out with that same day and date, or was that a
no? Tenet was theaters. Tenet was
theaters. But did that get caught up in that? I know. I know. Christopher Nolan was very.
Tenet
upset.
was not on HBO Max. It was just in theaters. I remember because I had to go to theaters to watch it.
But he wasn't very happy and pleased whenever they did that. So he took a lot of his stuff over to Universal. He signed that deal with Universal, and it killed a very long-standing relationship.
19 years.
It was 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. That's a long time. So I'm guessing, BC, you're not thinking this is going to happen?
No, there's no reason for this to happen. Are
the fans wanting this?
I hope not. After we've seen Pattinson, I hope we fans are just, hey, let's go forward. Let's not go back. And I mean, look, we could do a Michael Keaton kind of thing. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a multiverse situation. That's okay, but I don't need another Christian Bale Batman movie.
I'm the same way. I love Christian, but thank you so much for what you brought to us, Christian, if you're watching this. But I don't need to see that again. It was a great story. It ended well.
If Heath Ledger was still around, the dynamic changes. I go, okay, wait a minute. There is still more we could do. We could see another version of Batman versus the Joker.
Yeah.
But there's no reason without that.
Yeah, I mean,
it ended. The story ended perfectly. It's fine. Move on.
If they were to do it, I would just be curious to see what they would do with it. But I'm very happy with what we're getting with the Robert Pattinson. And honestly, I don't think you can have the Robert Pattinson Batman and the Christian Bale Batman at the same time. Yeah. They're both too grounded of movies. Mm-hmm. And I feel differently about the Ben Affleck Batman. I feel like you can have the Robert Pattinson Batman and the
Ben Affleck,
and the Ben Affleck Batman, because one is more fantastical. One lives in a different set of rules around it than, say, Pattinson. So I think that works, right? The Christian Bale thing, I don't think anyone's asking for it. I don't think Christopher Nolan will even want to do it. He's doing very well on his own independent projects. I don't know, but guys, I'm curious to know, are you interested in seeing Christian Bale return as the Caped Crusader? Oh my God, the Caped Crusader. I can't speak today. Would you want to see him return? Would you want to see Christopher Nolan return? God, it's so hard saying Christian and Christopher. It's like a tongue twister. What are you guys' thoughts? Comment below and let us know as we move on to our next topic. And our next topic today, BC. It looks like Marvel Studios announced that which is a kind of a shocker because I know they have D23. It looks like they are returning back to Hall H this year for Comic-Con. It looks like Comic-Con is finally opening its doors back open. I know like the past couple of years due to COVID, they have shut down essentially the in-person event and everything pretty much went virtual. But it looks like Marvel is coming back to save Comic-Con and hopefully to bring us a whole box of goodies. BC, we are hearing that Marvel is returning to Hall H. What do we think?
This is big. Like this is the jolt that Comic-Con was going to need to actually make its return this year. Because to be honest with you, going into this, I didn't think we were going to see Marvel at Comic-Con this year. I didn't think we'd see Marvel. I didn't think we'd see anything from Disney since we do have D23 coming up in September. But this makes me think that, we've been hearing a lot from Kevin Feige saying that we're about to figure out what's going on in phase 4 and 5 and beyond. And so this makes me go, oh, they're ready. And Thor is really going to set this up.
Right.
So that they can then come into San Diego Comic-Con and launch everything they need. And then we're going to be able to see all that. And I'm really excited for that. And, because Kevin Feige did have those comments the other day that says things are going to start shaping up and you're going to start noticing it with Thor. Right. So I'm excited to see where we are going and what's going on here. And I'm excited to see Marvel coming back to San Diego Comic-Con because that's going to be the main event there.
I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited. I mean, I do like what HBO does with or Warner Brothers with DC Fandom. I like what Marvel does with Hall H. I mean, not Hall H, but D23. I'm glad that they got theirs,
Yeah.
But there is something just special about Comic-Con and talking to your people and nerds around the world unifying and rejoicing. All nerds, not just your specific group, but like all nerds coming together. And you make that announcement with them, and I think that's the right way to do it. I think it's smart. Of course, we don't know if they're going to be announcing Phase 5 at Comic-Con. I mean, for all we know, they could be announcing it at D23. Yeah. But it would make sense that if they were going to announce Phase 5 at D23, there's no reason to do Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
And especially because, if I'm not mistaken, they're very close together.
September.
They're both in September, right? I mean,
no. Comic-Con's in July.
And okay.
D23 will be September 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Got it. Okay, so it makes sense to do this now, and it makes sense to wait until after Thor. I got my Thor tickets, so I will be seeing it this weekend, and I'm waiting to see all the good things. I'm very much looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get some clarity on where we're going with this, because we all have our rumors. Everyone has their rumors on where this is going, but is there anything that you are anticipating to be announced?
I don't know.
Blade,
because I don't know because I think we are headed toward a Secret Wars kind of situation. I think we're headed to other things too. It will be interesting. I think Thor's really going to play out and let us see a better roadmap of where we're going to go. And I think after we see that, I'll have a better idea. Right now, I honestly don't know where we're going, and I'm fine. I'm not complaining or bitching about it. I love that I don't know. I don't want to be able to predict where we're going. I want to be able to, enjoy the ride, and that's what we're doing right now. But it is going to be hype in Hall H, and I cannot wait to find out what some of these untitled Marvel movies are we have and what's going to happen with the mutants. They have to say something about mutants.
They're going. I mean, is that at this point? I feel like we already know what we're going to get at Phase 5 unofficially. I feel like we know they're going to announce the Marvels, right? That's going to be Phase 5 property. I have a strong feeling that Blade is going to be in there. So Blade, the Marvels. Now Black Panther 2. I don't know if they're going to consider that Phase 4, Phase 5, but if they throw that into Phase 5, then fine.
We could get the trailer for Wakanda Forever at Comic-Con.
That would make sense.
Oh, I didn't even think about that because that's November. We could get our first look at it.
That would be that would make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what has to happen. So Black Panther comes out directly after Thor. I believe it's the next movie after Thor, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get a trailer at some point. Marvel likes to let you know, unless they're going to pull another Thor thing where they release a trailer 80 days before the movie, which I don't see them doing with this. I think it's a safe bet that you're going to get a Black Panther trailer. Maybe some more understanding of what's going on with the Marvels at that point as well. Secret surprises. I'm thinking Kang. I'm thinking we're going to get there. I think they're going to emphasize Kang at this next panel.
Yeah.
With Ant-Man Quantumania coming around the corner, I think there's going to be a huge panel for that, and everyone's going to want to see Kang. Not to mention Loki Season 2. Are we going to get anything mentioned on Loki Season 2? There's a lot to speculate for sure about this announcement that I'm really looking forward to. I'm very excited.
And I will also say we hope to be at San Diego Comic-Con, at least have some kind of presence out there. I don't know. I was talking to my buddy Ken the other day, and given how many people returned from Star Wars Celebration with COVID, who knows if we're actually going to go out there.
Right. That's no good, man.
I may be like, you know what? I don't know if that's a good idea.
Man, risk it for the biscuit, bro. Get your ass in there. Get your ass in there. Get the news we need.
Bro, there's already the con crud, all right? I don't need to add COVID. I don't need COVID con crud. Like, that's not a good...
You can do this, man. You can do... I have faith in you. Go out there, get the news we need. And plus, I mean, I'm sorry. To be there as they announce something that big, I'll catch COVID for that. I'd risk it. I'd risk it. I haven't gotten it yet. You know,
Me neither.
It's about time. You know,
I can't get COVID. I'm too strong.
It's pretty much what it is.
That's facts.
Pretty much. So anyway, guys, looks like Marvel's returning back to Hall H for Comic-Con. Are you guys excited for this news, or are you kind of bummed out? Was you waiting for D23? I know you're probably all excited. What are you waiting for them to announce? We would love to hear it. Comment below and let us know your thoughts as we move on to our very next topic of discussion. And our next topic. A few years ago, we were anticipating another cinematic universe. And it failed tremendously. And I'm talking about the Monster universe over there by the Universal Monster movie. But we were able to get a few good movies that came out of that. And no, I'm not talking to you, Mummy. I'm talking to you, Invisible Man. The Invisible Man came out a few years ago. It was a great movie. I loved it so much. Did you ever get a chance to see it?
I did. I really enjoyed it. However, I do not like your disrespect to the Mummy. I enjoyed the Mummy. It was not what I wanted it to be.
Not with Top Gun Cruise.
But it was not with Top Gun Cruise. We don't be talking about. But it was. But I still had fun watching it, and I loved the idea of Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
No, that was cool. That was cool, and I really wish we could have saw more of that. The only thing
that bothered me about the Mummy was we went way too much Brendan Fraser action Mummy, and we got away from horror Mummy, which I think is what I thought they were going to do was horror Mummy, and I thought that was going to work a lot better. But, it is what it is.
It would have worked a whole lot better. That's my issue with it. Brendan Fraser's Mummy. They should have done something totally different with it. That's still my Mummy. I love that movie. I love the first two of those Mummy movies. The last one,
I need you to not sleep on Tomb of the Dragon Empire.
I'm gonna tell you why.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm kidding.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna say because I didn't know we had a fan here.
No, the kid grows 20 years, but Brendan Fraser does not age at all.
No, Brendan Fraser doesn't age, and I really missed the wife.
Yes.
I can't remember
Marina Katard.
I can't remember her name, but she knows who she is. When she wasn't in the third one, I felt it. And I couldn't get into it. But anyway.
Oh, Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. Thank you. Rachel Weisz. Beautiful, amazing actress. She was also great in Black Widow. But it looks like the Invisible Man director is coming out the woodwork and he's saying, yo, guys, you know what the world needs? You got your Batmans out there. You got your Supermans, you got your Butchers and Homelanders, but you know what you're missing? You're missing some Green Hornet and Kato. Green Hornet and Kato. Yep. BC, he has announced that he's looking to do this movie, bring back the Green Hornet and Kato, which was famously made from Bruce Lee's performance back in the 60s. The excellent Green Hornet TV show. I used to watch that TV show with my dad all the time on reruns. Definitely always. It was always good to watch. Now the Green Hornet, they did remake that movie. I can't remember. Mid-2000s. I can't remember when the remake
2011.
2011 with Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen took it up, and that's when he lost a lot of weight. Good for Seth for doing that. He got a great shape for that, but the movie was just okay. It was okay. I didn't hate it.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Jay Chow, I love the spin that Kato was the actual hero. Yes. That's what I liked about that version of Green Hornet because, let's face it, while Green Hornet was really cool, it was Kato who was the star of that show.
Absolutely.
Because it was Bruce Lee. And then, I loved Cameron Diaz in it and Christoph Waltz and, an early David Harbour.
He was in that.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, memory unlocked. I forgot. He was in that movie. It was a good movie. Like I said, I had a good time. I remember certain sets from it. I remember they had like a real big glass building and they was driving cars and stuff through it. The car is great. The way that they redid the car was great. This is cool, man. Green Hornet is one of those classic like Lone Ranger type characters.
Yeah.
Definitely would like to see it. But BC, you're hearing this news. What are your thoughts about Lee Wannell, I guess that's his name. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah. You know what? I really did like the Invisible Man. It's such a change. It's a drastic change in tone. I think if you're going from Green Hornet to the Invisible Man, because Invisible Man was so suspenseful, like it drew you in and really had you sitting on the edge of your seat, which is not something you need for Green Hornet. You need, action and intent, it's like that. So. I'm excited to see what kind of style he brings to this. And I'm excited to see what direction this film wants to go. And honestly, it could be a very good franchise. You could really make a franchise of this. And to be honest, you could make its own universe out of this. And I know that's the big thing, and everyone, is talking about it, and they always end up failing if they're not Marvel. Mm-hmm. But I would love to see a universe that has a Green Hornet as a hero, a Rocketeer, the Shadow, the Phantom. Take all these other like old school heroes and put them all into one universe.
Wow. I didn't care for this that much until you just said that.
But I highly doubt that's what they're going to do.
They need to.
But it would be awesome to see.
Listen, everyone loves a good team up. Ain't that right, Soldier Boy? Listen.
Facts.
I'm on the fence about this, right? It could be good. I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it regardless. As we do anything that has to deal with any superhero or any hero, I will watch anything. But I wasn't like, oh wow, okay, Green Hornet. I wasn't thrown out of my chair. It was more of a reserved reaction when I heard it. But that could be cool, man. If they can do something where they really do kind of stockpile in a very League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's type way. Like all those heroes that you were mentioning, like the Phantom. Bro, the Phantom.
Billy Zane, what up?
Bring back Billy Zane. God, I miss Billy Zane so much. He should have been. I still believe Billy Zane should have been Lex Luthor for anything that they should have done. But you never heard about this? Billy Zane is Lex?
Bro, that would have been lit.
Bro, come on. Billy Zane as Lex Luthor would have been the casting choice.
Yeah, that would have been really good.
The Phantom, or even if they would have brought in, help me, Liam Neeson's, the rap head.
Darkman.
Darkman. Bring them all together.
Do it.
Bring them all those not trash, but dated 80s, 90s action movies that they try to get off the ground that were kind of those hits, Hey, is this the way you... Do
you remember The Shadow with Alec Baldwin?
No, I'm digging. I'm digging. I gotta watch it,
bro. It was interesting.
But like, if they were to do that, maybe this is your way of building up the Crow. You got me excited, man.
Yeah. What's bad is I got you excited, but that's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Not at all what this is going to be.
And I hate you for this because now this is what I want. And if I don't get anything else if I don't get anything that I'm thinking of right now, I'm going to beat you up, BC. I'm going to make you get down to my level and I'll beat you up.
Oh, I'm going to have to get down to your level. Okay.
Yep. I'm going to fist to face. Don't make me, if I have to jump to slap you, I will. I will. Thank you for putting this idea in my head. No, man, it's cool. It was one of those, I was able to call my dad and be like, hey, Dad, we're getting a Green Hornet thing. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And Seth Rogen going to play him again? I'm like, no, but it's a cool little movie. I think it's really cool. I would definitely like to see a horror take on it, though. Not a horror take, but make it really suspenseful. Make it really suspenseful. Make it really suspenseful because I do
definitely a more serious version, and I think that's what they will go for.
Yeah, because the reason why I don't think I enjoyed or I did enjoy it. I didn't love the original. Not the original, but the movie that they made back in like 2011.
Seth Rogen,
the one with Seth Rogen. I couldn't understand the tone. I couldn't quite sit in for the ride. I felt very disjointed with sometimes it was trying to be funny, then it was trying to be serious, then it was trying to be action, then it just kind of fell flat as another generic run-of-the-mill superhero movie that they just kind of pumped out and didn't have a lot of substance to it that I thought really held it together. So you got me excited. You got me excited. I definitely think this is a good guy for it. He definitely knows how to make
I can pitch a movie. It's what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you setting me up. Now, if I don't get that shit, I'm going to be pissed off. Bring back Billy Zane. At this point,
bring back Billy Zane.
At this point, I just want to have a Billy Zane and Kato movie. And I don't want Billy Zane.
And he's not anyone else. He's just Billy Zane.
He's just Billy Zane. He's just Billy. I just want Billy, yo, how you doing? I'm good, Kato. I'm good. And that's the whole movie. That's what I want to see now. Justice for Billy Zane. I'm here for it. But no, this is pretty cool. Guys, what are you guys thinking about the announcement of the Green Hornet and Kato movie? That it looks like he's trying to eye it. Nothing's official yet. They haven't closed on any deals. It's still a work in progress, but he wants to do it. Would you like to see a new remake of the Green Hornet and Kato show as a movie? Definitely interesting. We'd definitely love to hear from you. If you have thoughts, leave those comments down below and let us know. Also, if you're still with us and you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would really much please. I'm asking you. Do it for me. Do it for BC. Look at BC's face. Look at that.
Come
face.
on. Let me get a subscribe.
Hit that subscribe for BC. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. It would definitely mean a lot to you if you could hit that like button, subscribe, and share as we move on to our very next topic. And guys, I'm not going to lie to you. We're entering some spoiler discussions, and we're going to talk about we'll give you guys some reviews. We saw some things over the weekend. I'm sure you guys have had a chance to see them too, and it's a good time. We're going to do a little double header on some reviews here. And I would like to start first. I would like to start with our Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 6 season finale review. Spoilers. Spoilers. BC, you had a chance to watch this show in its entirety. We're going to talk a little bit about Episode 6, but I really want to get your thoughts on how this show ended. What were your thoughts going into Episode 6? Did it leave you happy? Did it leave you satisfied? Did it leave you wanting more?
On a whole, I loved this show. I thought it was fantastic. It was so much fun. I know people had some issues with things, but I really enjoyed almost all of it. It was it got me back into that Star Wars feel. It got me back into that old school Obi-Wan and Anakin feel. I loved seeing their dynamic. I loved meeting young Princess Leia. Everything about it was a lot of fun. All the callbacks, everything. That said, definitely had its issues. Episode 4 was one of the worst things I've ever seen made. It was obvious that this was a movie that they added a bunch to to make it a series, which I think is a problem with Disney right now. But that doesn't take away from the fact that on the whole, I liked 5/6 of this show. So if there's only one episode I didn't like, we're good. I think it ended perfectly, although it was literally just almost the same ending as Revenge of the Sith. So did we actually need this? No, but it was fun. It was a good ride. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. I know we'll talk more about a possible sequel. I don't really want one, but that's just me. What about you? What are your thoughts on a whole?
As a whole, I enjoyed the show. It was fun. It had definitely some really great Star Wars moments. Definitely moments that I wanted to see for a long time. So, and before I continue, I really want to give a huge shout out to Deborah Chow and her team that made this show, because they had a huge obstacle. And I think as fans, we need to understand that too, and have a little bit of grace here. They had a humongous obstacle about bringing back this character and making it fit in a way that it didn't ruin some of our favorite moments. And there was a lot of times where me and you both were on edge about the choices that they were making, and about how it was going to affect canon, right? I thought that what they did was pretty fantastic. And even though it had its issues, we're going to talk about the issues, but on the whole, right, as you're saying, if you, when in doubt, zoom out. I really loved episode 1. I enjoyed episode 2. I really liked episode 3. Disappointed with 4. Loved 5. Absolutely loved episode 6. That means, generally, I enjoyed myself. Some of the characters we were introduced to in this show, I felt, and there's mainly, let's talk about it. We're talking about Reva, the character, the Reva character. By the way, this is not anything to reflect off of Moses Ingram's performance. I thought she did everything that she could do with that character and what she was given. I thought the character was the major flaw with this show. I think that her story could have been done in a separate show altogether, like an Inquisitors type show. I didn't feel like we needed to shoehorn her into this, and that's kind of what I felt even leaving the show, that she was kind of shoehorned.
I think she was a character added to make this a show. I think everything with her was added to make this a show. And I think that she's a good character and we could get better, but she was kind of forced into this and she didn't really fit. Like if you look at episode 4, it's mostly an arc with her and we don't need it. If it's not there, that whole episode, if at the end of episode 3, Leia gets to the end of that tunnel and it's Roken, and then we skip completely over episode 2 or episode 4 and we go right into the rest of this, it's a much more, and it's just the other Inquisitors hunting down Obi-Wan. It is much more fluent story.
Yes.
So I think we added it, and I think that's what hurt it. I think the rest of the film had been so focused that when we added in a character, it didn't matter who the character or what the character was, it was going to be thrown off and not written as well as the rest of it. So, and I don't know this for a fact. That's just my personal feeling, but I don't know. I would like to see more with Reva because she is a character that we don't know her fate. So I would love to see if we do some kind of Inquisitor spinoff, I don't mind. I would love to have Moses Ingram back and see something from her world. Like, I want to know what happened to the Inquisitors, because by the time we get to A New Hope, there are no more Inquisitors.
Right. And honestly, now that you brought this up, I would definitely be very much intrigued in maybe Reva now takes it upon herself to hunt down Inquisitors. And that could be a really cool spin on it.
Because she could be a great anti-hero.
Right. And I think people would accept her as an anti-hero. Now, so that's my complaints about the Reva character, and I want to move off of that because I want to talk about the things I enjoyed, really very much so. And I need to start off the top with Ewan McGregor. Ewan, thank you. Thank you so much. You and Hayden, by the way. Ewan McGregor, single-handedly, to me, is the reason why the prequels work. Him and also the guy who plays Palpatine, I can't remember his name.
Sheev.
Old Sheev, because he even makes an appearance in this. They always crush it. And Ewan brings the heart and compassion. This show, to me, did one great thing, and that was something that the prequels could never do. And it made me finally believe that Anakin Skywalker is Vader.
Okay.
For most of the prequels, I always understood. Of course, I know I'm not an idiot. I know Anakin is Vader, but I was never able to emotionally make that jump to say this guy is this guy. That's Lil Michael and that's Michael Jackson, right? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to get that jump. Not to say Michael Jackson, but I'm just merely saying, like, I could tell.
No, I know what you're saying. I saw it. That was a good analogy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I could never figure that out, but this show, finally, I was able to see Anakin become Vader or be Vader. They're one now. So now when I watch the sequel or when I watch the original trilogy, I feel more complete watching it. Also, whenever he just like the way that they fix the whole idea that Obi-Wan calls him Darth, they gave us reasons for that. They now let us know that whenever he tells Luke, your father was betrayed by Vader who killed him. Now it makes sense. So honestly, all of we're too busy as fans. We were too busy fighting them on how they was addressing canon. But there's a lot of ways that they actually, to me, improve canon. That I need to give them credit for that. I thought it was a great show. I don't say great. I thought it was a good Star Wars show. I enjoyed it. I disagree with you. I am ready for season 2.
Oh, really?
I am ready for season 2.
But before we jump into season 2, canon wise, the one thing I do want to say that I think that they did a great job of fixing canon is it never made sense to me that Leia and Han would name their child Ben. Yep. Why would they name their kid after Obi-Wan Kenobi? Han had no connection to Obi-Wan. He didn't care.
That's a fantastic.
It was just an old man. And Leia didn't really know she just at the start of it, we were like, all you did, it was an old friend of your dad. You didn't know him. But now they have a connection.
Yeah.
Ben saved as someone that was important to her. So it makes sense that she would name her child after him.
Right. And also, the one thing I really, really enjoyed, because everyone was bitching. Leia can't know who Obi-Wan is because help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. It makes sense now why they did the message that way. Because he tells her, we have to be discreet about our relationship moving forward. Now it makes sense about if she were to send that message, how she would decode and decrypt that message. Doing a whole lot better of a job than your dad did, by the way.
Facts.
Because he's over here sloppy with the messages on the
leaving voicemails for the bad guys to find. Come on, man,
rookie mistakes. So I thought they handled everything perfectly. So now I want to talk about. So let's talk about this fight. Let's talk about this fight because I know we want to talk about it. I got to geek out for a little bit.
The fight was dope.
The rematch of the century. BC, what did you think about this fight, man?
I loved it. I thought it was a really good fight, and it is definitely the in between fight of Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope,
right?
Because A New Hope is again, because of the time it was made, very slowed down. Revenge of the Sith all over the place. This was a little all over the place, but had a slower tempo to it, and it really moved smoothly, and I really liked it. And Vader was vicious and violent in it. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that another one of my negatives of the whole show is they took a lot of stuff that's already canon and redid it in live action, like you did the Jedi Fallen Order or Fallen Order breaking into the Inquisitor Tower. Like we basically did the exact same mission. And then we had the Ahsoka Vader fight with Obi-Wan and Vader with the cutting of the mask and all that. And it was cool to see it in live action and seeing the difference between doing James Earl Jones's voice and Hayden Christensen's voice.
Man, I love that so much. That was so dope.
Perfect, bro. Perfect. So but then you also kind of got to go, ooh, hey, Obi-Wan, everything that happens is kind of your fault because you've had Anakin or Vader dead to rights twice now, and then you just said, well, bye.
Well, I think that I agree.
You could have saved Alderaan.
You could have.
When New Hope, when Obi-Wan goes, oh, I just felt something. Oh, damn, that's kind of my fault. Shit. Okay. I should have killed that motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, everyone's complaining about why didn't Obi-Wan kill Vader? I got an answer for you. It's called plot armor.
Facts.
That's why they had to do it that way.
Why did he not kill Vader? Well, because Vader's alive later. So
at the same time, and this is what I thought was really beautiful about how they wrote it. You may not be satisfied with this answer, but when Ben does talk to Reva later, and he talks about showing mercy, because that's what happens. After he leaves Vader, he goes to Tatooine. Reva then does not kill Luke. And she's like, am I becoming him? He's like, no, you showed mercy. And that let all of the people all of the younglings that you was around with, they're at peace now. And I think that's the reason why he didn't kill Anakin. He didn't kill Vader was because it's in his nature to show mercy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good way of them trying to fix that. Of course, it doesn't matter what I say on this matter. People are still going to say you still should have killed him. And I'm not going to disagree with those people.
You probably should have.
You probably should have. You probably should have. The man was out here. He was being a nightmare to people. But I thought it was really well done. My only small issue I had with the fight was the shaky cam portion. The shaky cam did throw me out a little bit. I know what they were trying to do with we want to get you in the action. I thought that was, I just felt there was at times the shaky cam took me out of it. The one thing that I love so much though, and this has been an issue, we've talked about this on the show before, I have hated how they have showcased Jedi powers and the fact that they don't show you their powers. You see them lifting a rock like a youngling. Like a youngling can lift a rock. Cool. We've seen Baby Yoda do it. But what can a full-grown Jedi Master do? And I finally got to see that with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Finally showing Vader, yo, bruh, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm about to rub these nuts all over your forehead.
Facts.
And I'm finally so glad because now I know. When I used to think about my top 5 Jedis, it was what? It was like, Luke Skywalker was to me the strongest. Then you got Yoda. And then I had like Mace Windu. Of course, Anakin is in that mix. But Obi-Wan Kenobi was never in my top 5 strongest, powerful Jedis.
Yeah.
Never was. Now he's coming up the list. Now we're seeing Obi-Wan's power. Because you never saw it in the prequels. You never saw it. So I'm very glad about that. I'm at peace with this show, is what I can say. I'm at peace with it. I'm not in arms. I don't want them to change anything. I think that if they're going to do a season 2, I think they should. Now I'm going to pitch to you how I think a season 2 could work.
Okay, let me hear your idea, and then I'll tell you if I'm okay with a season 2 or not.
Okay, so you can't do Vader. This is the last.
All right, I'm on board because that's what I was going to say. Is like I don't want Vader at all.
No, Vader, you can't do Vader, right? The one thing that I think that they can do, though, is start to set up Maul. They can start to set up the Darth Maul thing, but not on Tatooine. If you have Obi-Wan Kenobi leave the planet again and going around doing other missions, which they can make up and do, here's my thing about Maul. Maul is in a weird place of like, am I chasing Obi-Wan or not chasing Obi-Wan? You know what I mean? Between Rebels and like between the Clone Wars and then the Han Solo movie and then like then finally when he confronts Ben on Tatooine, he's kind of all over the place. Let him get a sense of Obi-Wan Kenobi is still alive after the events of Order 66, right? Does he know? That's my question, Ben. Does Maul know at this point that Obi-Wan Kenobi is still alive?
After Order 60, he figures out that he was alive in Rebels, I believe.
In Rebels.
Yes.
Do we know for a fact that he always felt that way? And that's my whole point.
No, something happens in Rebels, and he decides, okay, that's it. I'm going to find Kenobi. I've only watched through Rebels once, so my memory is not completely hooked on it. But I do know in Rebels there is a time that he's like Kenobi's still alive. I'm going after him.
Right.
And that's when he goes and searches for Ezra, and then with Ezra goes and figures out how he can find Obi-Wan. Then he finds him, goes, and Obi-Wan. See, and
that's what I'm saying. We can do that. If Obi-Wan Kenobi was out on these planets, what's to say that Maul wasn't on one of those planets as well and can pick up a scent that he's around? And you have it to where maybe Maul and him don't meet, but at least Maul is out there searching for him.
See, but then you have two characters. You have a huge villain and a huge protagonist, huge antagonist, and you have a show where they don't meet each other at all.
I know. They'll figure out.
And if they do meet each other, then it makes their one meeting later on not as prominent. So while I can entertain an idea for a season 2, I don't want a Darth Maul. I would maybe want something. What is he
doing for Solo, bro? That's my whole point. I want to know what he's doing when he sees him in Solo.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't want an Obi-Wan season 2. I want a Maul season 1.
Okay.
I want Darth Maul. I want Kira, and I want Crimson Dawn. And I want to go through the story of how Maul lost control of Crimson Dawn, which set him on this path to go, okay, I'm going to find Obi-Wan now because I'm done with all this other crap. The only thing I can do in my life is find Obi-Wan and kill him because he took my legs. So now I'm done with this gangster's life. I'm going to find Obi-Wan. And that sets us into Rebels.
And that could work too. Now, you know what? Maybe I don't want a season 2 after all. Maybe I just want
if we do get a season 2 of Obi-Wan, I want it to be a sitcom where Obi-Wan just chilling with Force Ghosts, Qui-Gon, and they're just learning how to do stuff with the Force, like random stupid things. Like, let's get a sitcom going here.
Maybe they can do something with the Wills.
I look, we could do that, or we could just figure out what happened when Obi-Wan got back to work. Did he get in trouble for missing so many days? Did he no call, no show? Does he have a union? What happened there? Because he just, left work one day and never went back.
You're right. He never did. He's going to have his wages garnished.
Facts. He didn't. I didn't see him put in any PTO. I don't know.
He pretty much went AWOL, guys. Pretty much went AWOL. I would definitely love to. I mean, I want to see Ewan do more, I guess, and I want to see Ewan do more with Qui-Gon Jinn. I think that'd be a really cool thing. I think there's a lot of cool things you could do with the Obi-Wan character that doesn't mess with canon too much, but give him on a separate mission and have it take place over here. That's why I'm like saying, hey, do something with Qui-Gon and getting to understand the Wills, right? The Wills are the one thing that they just haven't talked about at all in any of the live action stuff, which is so crazy because it was the title of the first Star Wars movie, original title. Huh. If I'm not mistaken, the original title was like Luke Starkiller and the Journey of the Wills, Star Wars.
Oh, wow. That's something I did not know.
Yeah, bro. Like, the Wills are central to the
and then didn't actually show up until Clone
Wars. With Qui-Gon learning about the Force, it could be a really cool thing. Like, you know what? Do it like this. Flash Season 1 with Qui-Gon and Anakin. Wait, with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Where Qui-Gon is like the Thawne character, training Obi-Wan how to tap into the Speed Force, which is the Force, and getting in contact with the Wills and learning about the secrets of the Wills.
See, well, now you've made me want something completely different. I want a young Qui-Gon series where he has a kid, a child Padawan Obi-Wan, like literally Obi-Wan as a kid.
Wow, that could work. That could work. Let us deal with the loss of Sabine.
Younger than Hayden, but older than oh god, I forget the kids. The kids, Jake Lloyd. You know,
yeah,
somewhere in that middle there, in that CW high school realm of where Obi-Wan would be.
Where's Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's what I want to know. Where's Obi-Wan's brother? Because they set that up and they just like, oh, I got a brother. I don't know what happened to him. Let's go find him.
I you know that I actually don't want at all. No. I don't need to see Obi-Wan's brother. No, that's one thing I hated about the show. I hated when he goes, yeah, I had a brother. I go, oh god damn it! Now we're gonna have another family member. I don't want any more family members.
That's fair.
Okay, there are more than 5 families in the galaxy. All right, let's go meet some other ones.
That's also true. Well, guys, I love this show. And I'll say that, I thought it was episode 4, one of the worst episodes in television history. I'll probably never watch that episode again. I'll watch episodes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. But I'm looking forward to it. I guess we need to talk about this. Now, other spinoff potentially. I think we're going to see Roken pop up in Andor.
Oh, holy crap. That's genius.
I think we're going to see Roken pop up in Andor. I think that's what they were setting up the entire time.
More young Ice Cube, the better. I'm all in. Anything young Ice Cube wants to do, I'm all in.
I think that we're in agreement that they're definitely, and you know what? I don't think that they were going to do anything with Reva's character, but since you guys got all pissy, I know Disney's going to double down on Reva and get ready for the Reva spinoff show.
The Inquisitors.
I just want to see, are we going to finally get to see Quentin Voss? Right, that's kind of what I want.
We could see Reva on the run from Han and the Grand Inquisitor.
We can see Reva team up with Captain Syndulla.
Yep,
at some point, right? We all know that she's going to have a big part. We don't know. Also, I need to start seeing some of these characters die.
Facts.
I do need to start seeing some characters die. Star Wars.
I honestly would have preferred if Reva had died.
And the reason why is we have too many characters that are alive with no tie up.
And we already know where they die. That's the problem. Is the characters we know when they die. So there's no suspense.
And I don't believe every single one of these people are on Andor when Andor goes kaput. So anyway, guys, curious to hear what you guys have to say about Obi-Wan Kenobi. What did you guys think about the series? Did you guys have any issues? Canon per se, maybe. What do you guys think about Obi-Wan Kenobi? We'd love to hear it. Comment down below and let us know as we move on to them boys and not the trash ones out in Dallas.
Bro, I swear to God, if you don't stop talking shit about the boys, we gonna have some issues, dog. I'm gonna fly out there and I'm gonna whoop yo cowboy hating ass, dog.
You could try.
Real.
You can try, just like how Soulja Boy tried to give the works to Homelander on this very new episode of The Boys, Hero-gasm. Guys, I have been looking forward to Hero-gasm. I'm so excited to finally being able to talk about the madness, talk about all the things that happened in this episode. BC, you can already tell my excitement. I guess I'll just start. I love this episode. This episode is my favorite episode of The Boys, period. My favorite episode of all the episodes of the Boys that they have came out with. I have loved it. I loved every single moment of it. It did not disappoint me whatsoever. I was surprised. At how much Hero-gasm was in this, and it didn't bother me. The writing in this episode, to me, was probably one of the strongest written episodes that they've ever put together. I was floored. I love the action. I love the emotion. I love the stakes. This was it almost felt like a season finale.
It did.
With everything that happened into it. Ben, you hear my thoughts on this. What were your thoughts on The Boys, episode 6, Hero-gasm?
Dude, I really loved it. It was very fun. It was very entertaining. I will say I had an issue while watching it. I was very excited to get home that night because I was like, dude, this is a great night. Not only is the brand new episode of Jersey Shore on, but I get the Hero-gasm episode of The Boys. I was so hyped and ready to get home, watch Jersey Shore, and then watch The Boys. And then I got home, went to turn on Jersey Shore, and I have Hulu Live. And I didn't set it to record, so I had to wait till I actually had Jersey Shore on demand, which wasn't until 3 a.m. And I was very disappointed at that point. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to watch The Boys. And I turned The Boys on with a frown on my face because I was sad that I wasn't able to watch the brand new episode of Jersey Shore Family Vacation. But
you was really looking forward to that, man.
I was. But The Boys turned that frown upside down. Because there was so much in this episode, and it was so much fun, and just all over the place. And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's." And like our boy Jader told us, yeah, I guess we know why he's called Mother's Milk now, huh?
Yo, that was surprising, especially after he had to run in with the jacket earlier. Yeah, we definitely know why it's called Mother's Milk now. Lots of great things to touch on this episode for sure. Let's talk with Mother's Milk. Let's start with Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk, Marvin. This was a big episode for him. Definitely a huge episode for him, recovering from what happened at the end of the last episode with this now team up. He was totally betrayed by Butcher. I mean, essentially betrayed by Butcher. And now he has to deal with this, and he has this moment with Annie in the car. Which I love this scene with Annie. When these two are in the car. And honestly, The Boys does some of their best work when they're not doing the action sets. When they're in the car and he's finally describing what Soulja Boy did to his family. Like, man, I felt it. He's such a great actor. He's such a great actor, made me feel all of that.
He is. I really enjoy his work and that conversation there. Like for me, someone who has low levels of OCD and anxiety and depression, I really connected with that because it just I'm like I know what that feels like to have to do things. Like I'm very like everything has to be what's the word? Not parallel, but if I have something on my right hand, if I have something on my right wrist, I got to have something on my left wrist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those little knick-knack things like that like he does, I'm like, I get it. It hits me in my core. I understand that kind of trauma. So I got so much respect for the writers to be able to put that so well and make it make sense so perfectly. It's like they feel these same things too.
No, I really thought they handled that. It was really cool to see that drive for Mother's Milk because you know Butcher's reason for doing all this. You can kind of understand why not Huey, but I mean you know why Huey's doing this. We never really understood why Marvin was doing this the whole time. Like, why is he even putting up with all this crap? And now we get it. He hates Soulja Boy, and to the point where I would say he's also scared of Soulja Boy. But it's that internal sense of fight or flight with him. Yeah. He has to confront this. He has to confront this huge part of him that's been eating at him. And it only weighs heavier on his betrayal with Butcher. Because it's like, he tells Butcher, like, bro, you can go after Homelander. You can do all this stuff for Homelander so we can appease your wants. But I want Soulja Boy. I thought that was super cool. Oh God, I can't beat around the bush no more. This damn fight that happens at the Hero-gasm mansion was everything. From the minute that Huey pops in, and with Hero-gasm, you guys have seen it. Huey's kind of scoping the area, trying to get the beeline towards the Wonder Twins.
One of my favorite moments is when he's in Herogasm and he runs into A-Train and they have that conversation.
Yeah.
Dude, because he has the powers at the time and he's just like, oh, I can fuck you up now. Oh. Yeah. But and he's trying to hold himself back and you feel it. Like you feel him holding back.
Yeah, and when he hits A-Train wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
When A-Train takes his glasses off and he apologizes to Huey for the first time, right? Which one? I thought this was so well executed. Everyone, of course, we want to know if A-Train is dead at the end of this episode. I think he is. And the reason why, because no one. Yeah, I think he's dead. And the reason why is because the very first act of violence on this show is A-Train running through Robin. It's the very first act of grotesque, or is the very first step we take as audience members into this world. It's A-Train running through Robin. And it's the first time he ever actually finally apologized for it. It was also the first time that A-Train ever did something for someone else that wasn't for his own personal gain. Yeah. Just giving Huey that apology. And I mean taking his glasses off and actually apologizing. Guys, if you want to know how to apologize to women in your life, look at what A-Train did. That was a perfect apology. You can't deny that was a real apology. Yeah. Now, Huey's reaction to it was also just as powerful. It was just as powerful. Because the entire time A-Train is having this arc through this episode, who confronts him? What's her name? Ashley? At Vought? Yeah. Ashley at Vought tells him to go fuck himself. Annie tells him to go fuck himself. And now Huey, in turn, hits A-Train, even after A-Train apologized. Like, yo, go fuck yourself, bro.
Yeah.
A-Train is alone. A-Train has no one in his corner, which is when he finally does this act against Blue Hawk, which, wow, I didn't see that coming at all. And how he did that was so powerful because where did it leave A-Train? It didn't leave him redeemed. It left him, he made a choice. And that choice makes sense for A-Train. It makes sense for A-Train, having been the character he was that entire time, to finally have his biggest moment where he apologizes to Huey, for then that moment to be thrown back in his face. It makes sense that A-Train would act that kind of way and do what he did and commit murder on that level. And then die from it. Alone.
Yeah.
By himself. With no one in his corner. No one even around to know what he did. I thought it was poetic. I thought it was great. And that's what I meant by the writing in this episode was so phenomenal that Herogasm, for as crazy as it was, made sense. The writing overpowered the craziness, which was all the sexual shit going on behind the
just kind of in the background.
Just in the background.
And that's what's so good about this show is it puts like insane stuff like that other shows would use for straight shock value up front. They put it's just in the background. It's just happening.
And they had some wild shit going on. Like that.
And it felt lived in.
Did you see the Magneto? I'm not Magneto, Professor X.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if that was Professor X or with Dr. Manhattan, the way that he was doing that, and they had the guy with the icicle dildo and yeah, it was a bunch. It was some wild stuff going on in there. Even you got the return of Termite. So he obviously didn't learn his lesson whatsoever from the very first episode. But of course he got what he deserved at the end of that. And he got what he deserved by Homelander finally showing up and stepping on him, which I thought was great. But yeah, Soldier Boy destroys the Herogasm house. after he kills the Wonder Twins. How do we feel about the Wonder Twins?
I loved it. That was perfect. That was the perfect. It made me want the CW or the Wonder Twins movie that Warner Brothers was going to do. I'm like, felt like, could Warner Brothers just do a movie with these guys? Because they're funny.
It really felt like them telling Warner Brothers like, yo, don't make this movie because they look this stupid.
Facts.
Even them having to touch hands, because that's the Wonder Twins. That's how they get their powers. They have to touch hands to activate their powers. Thank you for giving me my Wonder Twins fix, boys. We appreciate it. Okay, I need to talk about this now. Soulja Boy comes in. He has this moment with MM. And pretty much it's the Scarlet Witch.
I don't even
Thanos.
know who you are.
You killed my family. What family? What'd you talk about, bruh?
Which one? I killed a lot of families.
Oh, and I'm sorry, and I hate to keep doing this. When Mother's Milk, I love Mother's Milk. When he puts his hands up to fight,
you feel it.
I felt that was Pops from Friday. I felt Pops from Friday. You know what I mean?
You win some, you lose some,
but you live.
You live to fight another day.
I felt that entire thing, man. I felt even when and Butcher, you're not gonna let me get mine off on Soulja Boy. Well, you can run these hands too. And I love that. I also kind of love what Butcher is doing for MM. Because we could talk about Butcher being an asshole, but Butcher is saving MM's life.
Yes.
He genuinely is like, I honestly think what Butcher is doing with MM isn't necessarily betrayal, but it's more like big bro, little bro.
Yeah. I get that. This exact feeling that you have. And you could tell it in his. He's like, I don't want to do this. Look, man, I could literally just grab you and set you down, but I don't want to. I'm just trying to stop,
man. Like, and I get it. I get where Butcher's coming from. This show has such a weird way of making me pull for every single character. I don't even like Butcher half the time. Butcher's a dickhead. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love Butcher. Butcher's my hero.
I mean, okay. How do I say this? I love Butcher. I would hate to work with Butcher.
He's my spirit animal.
There you go.
So, in other words, you hate working with me. All right, you cunt.
That's fair. Oi. I just loved all that. I love those parallels, and I love how Soulja Boy is in this. But I love this fight scene that we see. We finally see Soulja Boy and Homelander meet, and my God, was the testosterone level on 15 billion? It was all over the place. Bro, you just, I'm the upgrade. Like, nah, you ain't the upgrade. You're not strong. Who you talking to? I'm Soulja Boy.
Bro, you wearing a cape.
Facts. You're wearing a cape, bro. You're wearing a cape. How strong can you be? And I love that about them. It's just such this sense of Soulja Boy has a really good idea of who he is. And you can kind of see that, like, bruh, first of all, you're acting cocky. I know who I am. Whereas Homelander's having this internal conflict the entire time where he doesn't really know like what he is. And Homelander, of course, he's cocky about this fight because he's never been matched up against anybody. But let's talk about this. Do you still believe that Homelander can get beat by Soulja Boy after this fight?
I don't think so. I took all three of them.
I disagree. And here's where. I think that Soulja Boy can take Homelander if he didn't blow that shot earlier with the Wonder Twins.
Okay.
If he didn't blow that shot with the Wonder Twins, which also you have to remember, Butcher got hit by that blast.
Yeah.
And Butcher was still giving the work to Homelander.
Yeah.
Isn't the whole idea of Soulja Boy's powers, he drains your powers? Are you getting my point?
Maybe, yeah.
Butcher, okay, so remember, Soulja Boy but Chemico's powers away.
Yeah.
Chemico no longer has powers. Butcher got hit by the same blast whenever he blew up the building. And he was still able to give that work to Homelander, meaning his power was going away. You understand my point? Diminishing power as he's fighting Homelander and giving Homelander the business.
Yeah.
Imagine Homelander fighting a fully powered Soldier Boy and a fully powered Butcher, not a half-powered Butcher. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about, though. If he has, I don't know. It could go either way. And I'm up for whatever. I think Butcher needs to be the one that really ends Homelander.
Right.
Or Butcher needs to be there when it happens to give that look of, oh, I'm seeing him die. This is what I've been waiting for.
I think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get that for sure. I thought the fight was awesome, though. The toxic masculinity was so apparent with this.
And I'll tell you what about Soldier Boy, man.
I like him.
You know, when Supernatural ended, I was like, these guys aren't going to be stars. Like, they're going to be little tiny CW stars, like Homeboy's doing Walker. That's what they're going to do. That's going to be their route. That's the only thing they can do is more shows like that. Now I see Jensen Ackles in The Boys, and I go, oh, this guy is a star.
Yeah,
this guy could carry a film.
Well, it makes you wonder what if, right? Because he was up. He wasn't a finalist, but I believe he was up for contention for Captain America.
Yeah,
you know. But I'm so glad that he wasn't cast as Captain America because now I got him a Soldier Boy and he fits this so good. I mean, you're talking his morning after meal, right? His give me the food, give me the chicken. He got his cocaine.
Bill Cosby,
bruh. I loved Bill Cosby's America's dad. Does he make some strong drinks? That was so genius. Yeah. That was probably to me the best joke in this episode was the Bill Cosby joke. A1 excellent. And then also whenever they first get to Herogasm and he's like, yeah, you know, I started Herogasm back in 52 with this chick named Liberty, which is Stormfront. So pretty much him and Stormfront started Herogasm. Which he probably didn't know she was a Nazi, of course, because he still called her Liberty. I thought that was a great little moment. I love how this character Soldier Boy has brought in so many different layers to like the Boys universe. You know, now we know that Soldier Boy, like, cause you never really see the outside of Vought, but they're like, there's a statue of him outside the building.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Homelander, though. Homelander's first initial... I'm sorry. Before we even get to this, the first scene of the episode was the Imagine shit. The Imagine...
Oh, my God. I wanted Gal Gadot to be in that video. Like, I can't believe they didn't go get Gal.
That was so good. I loved that, especially with the Deep leading that off, and then a Black Noir ending it, of course. I thought that was so great.
Black Noir, real quick, Black Noir.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we need to talk about
when he cuts his thing out, when he immediately turns, gets in the thing, cuts all that. I was under the impression, I'm like, oh, he's loyal to Soldier Boy. He's going to Soldier Boy. And then it goes, no, he's running. I was like, oh, he's running. That's interesting. I didn't expect that.
And I loved how Homelander took that as a personal insult.
Yes.
Because that just shows you Homelander's not thinking clearly about this.
No.
If Black Noir is like, Soldier Boy's back, and
I'm out.
It shows you that there is something to him. Now, it also shows you a little bit about who Black Noir is. Because there's still rumors that Black Noir is supposed to be... People believe Black Noir is different than what they showed us from the 70s. The Black Noir you're seeing now is different.
Do you know the comics?
I do. I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware.
All right. Yeah. So I think they went away from that. I think they chose not to go with that route, which I'm fine with. It's okay. So I like the route that they seem to be going with Black Noir. I'll be interested to see where they continue to go with him running.
Yeah, I'm totally interested in that. But I think it's the same black dude as before. I don't think it's like some other clone copy. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's still the same guy. Now, what's going on with him is still to be determined, right? Because there's obviously something going on with Black Noir, how he is the way that he is that we're not familiar with. Definitely would love to see that. But the episode ends now with the boys separated. It ends with essentially Huey and Butcher and Soldier Boy going to go do their thing over here. Is now looking like he's riding with Annie and doing that. Annie's left. Annie quit. Quit. And such a duality of the show begins with this fake garnered viral video that the Seven makes to tell people to calm down, and the video and the episode ends with a real video from another member of the Seven saying, "Nah, this shit is a bunch of crap." Which now we're going to get into the fake news portion, right? But it's obviously going to leave the country divided. It's very similar to us right now. I thought it was fantastic, man. I don't know where this is going to go. We're only on episode 6. You see what happens when you have an 8-episode season?
Right.
You can do things like have 2 more episodes and still tell a very great story where every episode hits. I love this show, man. This show is, there's not one episode where I have walked away and said, I'm good on this. I've loved every single episode that I have gotten from this, and Herogasm is at the top of my list right now. I love this episode. I love everything that happens in this episode. Not one complaint. Actually, you know what? I do have a complaint, actually, and I'll make this very quickly. And I said this last season whenever I did a show with Jader last year. I do not care about this Frenchie story whatsoever.
Me neither. Which it bothers me because I love Frenchie.
Right.
As a character, I think he is fantastic, but I don't like the storyline they put him in.
I don't care. Like, what I mean by I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck about this story.
His shit outside of the boys, I don't care at all.
I don't care, and that's my one gripe that I have with this season. I think it's also a gripe that I had last season. Kimiko is adorable, right? I love Kimiko. I love Frenchie. I love their thing. They're dynamic. But it's starting to feel like another show at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't feel like it sits in with the actual continuity of the show. It feels like something else that's going on. Kind of like the Reva stuff.
Yeah.
You know, of course, this is done way better. I love how they're doing it, and I love the direction they're taking with it, but I just don't see how it fits, and I think it relies elsewhere. Like, give it something else to do. I do miss. I miss Frenchie with the boys. You know what I mean?
It feels like they're like, hey, we have to have Frenchie on, but we don't have anything to do. Just do something that kind of has him doing things. Like, that feels like what they're doing.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not vibing with it. But
other than
that,
crazy.
I can easily take that out the episode. When I think about the episode, I don't even think about Frenchie at all. I don't think about the Nina stuff. I don't think about any of it, which is why I can still enjoy it. But that's my one nitpick about this. And that's not to say that I don't like the Frenchie and Kimiko stuff. I just wish it was done to where
it doesn't make sense. No point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's pretty much all I got to say on the boys. Do you have anything else you want to say, man?
No, man. I think we've said it all. That it was dope, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see where we continue to go.
Absolutely, man. Me too, man. And guys, what were your thoughts about this episode of The Boys? Dem Boys, the proper Dem Boys. I no longer will call it the Cowboys, Dem Boys.
We are the boys. Don't stop hating.
Whatever, guys. Guys, this has been our episode of the Lando Project. Please hit that subscribe button, like, and share. Write down your comments on what you liked about The Boys episode 6. And we will see you guys all tomorrow. Guys, my name has been Lando. You can find me on all the Instagrams, Twitter stuff on the description box down below. That's been BC. BC.
My man.
What do you guys say to the people out there?
Find me on all social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagrams, at The Grind Calls. And don't forget to check out thegrindcalls.com, where we answer the call to bring you pop culture, positivity, and celebrate the things that we love.
All right, guys, this has been our episode. Really appreciate you hanging out with us today. And we will see you guys on another episode of the Lando Project tomorrow. So once again, thank you. We love you. And fear guns.